Hello, welcome back. Last time I had my first encounter with this room and got an idea of what sorts of things I need to do here. I need to touch this point. Basically, get leaf here is the entire room. I have many tools to do so. This sign lists how many I have. And I understand some of the intermediate steps. So I have this put together for... How did this work? I had to start... Was it here? Yeah, okay, so that gets me in here. And then I can also go there. Alright, so that is a setup that gets me to my destination. Oh, this is bothering me now. Because this isn't quite right. The layout's more like that. And there's a ladder like here. But that's okay, the waypoint marks it clearly enough. And this is all fenced, I think. Possibly even more than that. Like that or so. Anyway, it doesn't matter much. It might at some point. I may need to make a more accurate replica of this as time goes on. But right now this is accurate enough. Yeah, okay, there's like a whole little thing here. Yeah. Isn't there a... Okay, what am I looking at? No, the whole bottom section is enclosed. Okay, whole bottom section is enclosed. This shape was what I was imagining a moment ago. So it's like this, like this, like that. Something like that, sure. Alright, so anyway... Task number 1. Let's just say that the first thing I want to do is in this room, I would like to get a flying snake here. That is the entire thing, just one flying snake in this coordinate. Shouldn't be too terrible. Main thing that's weird about that is the unruliness of a snake up high. While I could very briefly stack one on top of a block without a huge amount of trouble, just like right here like this. Ow! Alright, you're not involved at the moment, go away. And same for you, you're not involved at the moment, go away. And you're not involved at the moment, go away. So one snake. You are there, yes. And I guess you need to come up here with me? Okay, Actually... This is less clear than I expected. So these all just do that. Let's go back a little bit more. There-ish. So you're on a block right now. You're up high right now. Sure, cool. However, you very much will not stay there. So am I going to need a road of blocks from here all the way to there? Okay. If that were the case, what about the spaces that are pit? Also, you gotta be up a little higher. Alright, you know what? I think I need a mobile snake jail. This is an immobile one. What I need is like a flying fortress that has bomb bugs surrounding on all sides, so that those can move around, and the one up top can't hop downward onto a thing. Not necessarily all sides, but something resembling it. Uh-oh. Yeah, this first step, this may be too ambitious for today. I may have to break this down further into sub-steps. And I have to use that as a trampoline to repeat several times, and somehow get something all the way in here, like a two stages of the same process, roughly. Like the final thing that I had set up in the editor, where Leaf hopped up here and, you know, exploded, and was there. That's the easy part. So these very uncooperative, I mean they're sort of cooperative, but like, these creatures I can't tell to stand still. How do I get a flying snake to hold still up high? I'm gonna do what I did and make a little scary stick here. Use it to ward you off, get this there, and close that again. Alright, so one bomb bug is with me. I can disassemble my scary stick and just kind of set it aside. With that one bomb bug, let's get another, maybe a couple of push blocks. I threw an entire stack in the pit and I'm tempted to do it again. What I should do is just put them back in the bank there once I've pulled off the number that I want. How easy can I elevate you? Okay, sure, so that's a small sub-step that's going to be necessary. I must elevate a bomb bug. This would help, probably? Not enough. Well, no, hang on. Okay, that's not exactly what I want to do, but it's similar-ish. I suppose I could always... Okay, let's do something a little different. You know what, I'll just put that entire stack there, that's fine. Is it? Probably not. I need this, with you and stacked on top of it. I got sort of a plan here. You out of the way, you come over here. Actually, I want to unpack that. Okay, so bomb bug elevated. So just in case that matters... That's a step. So with that replay saved, I have a feeling like this room could maybe benefit from some sort of macro system, where I could save a replay starting like not at turn 0, get to a spot and input it. I was imagining in my head how this thing could hypothetically work. But yeah, like record a sequence of inputs, and just be able to play that back from an arbitrary time in the room. And I was thinking it'd be cool in this hypothetical system if I had infinite time to work on this game and implement just the coolest things in it. I could have it like, here's the script where you're replaying, and at any moment, you know, if I have to do a macro that involves doing this motion, but I actually need instead to go out a little bit, but do otherwise the same thing, I could see, you know, the south-south and interrupt that as it's playing and just insert, here's a west move, then resume, here's an east move, and then resume from there. So like arbitrarily skip a step or insert a different one, but still keep the replay intact. Anyway. I'm just making things up though. That doesn't actually exist right now. Okay. Oh, right, and if I push you off, that's... I don't want to put you up there. Okay, so the purpose of you is to act as a barrier for an up-high flying snake. Now, for that to make any sense, you have to be riding on one. And that one you're gonna be riding should be in jail. But not yet. Okay, so first of all, here's a snake who's gonna carry a thing for me. That thing being this bomb bug. Now, I'm gonna... let's just do this. Alright, you come... where are you? I didn't summon you yet. Alright, so you carry the thing. Also go to jail. Thank you. With you in jail, I want another snake, just for... because, like, this is what ultimately it's gonna have to do. I want this one to be carrying a block. Right, I'm starting to feel the shape of this puzzle and how I would move around in it. So you're carrying a block now. So then you need to be on top of a block, I guess carried by another snake? So 2 carriers? Yeah, no, I'm doing this the wrong way around. You're supposed to be on top of a block, yes, carried by a snake. Can I put anything on my head? I have bomb bugs, so theoretically, but that's not reusable. It just now occurred to me that maybe I could carry some things. Yeah, Leaf can carry a flying snake. Oh. Okay, detour. I don't need this. This is basically no work. So, detour. Flying snake on push block on Leaf's head. That is the way to get a flying snake to hold still up high. That's much better than caging it in bomb bugs. However, how do I imagine that would happen? Well, I need a flying snake flying onto a block which is about to get exploded from up high onto Leaf. Okay? So that's... okay, let's move a little more efficiently here. Just because I want the replay that I'm going to save for this not to have too many extra steps in it. No, I need you down low for a moment. There we go. Not that. The bomb bug involvement. Oh, we got a couple of problems here. Okay, so I think I'm gonna do it here-ish, maybe? Let's break this down further. Yeah, okay, no. Push block on Leaf's head. So wear a hat and then get a flying snake on top of that hat. That's the way to think of this. Wear a hat, get a flying snake on top of that hat. Well, you know what? If we're doing this, then just do that. So, got a bomb bug on a block. And... actually... oh right, I restored. I can't undo that, of course. Yeah, so the amount of time I spend on this isn't going to be accurately record kept. That's fine. I keep thinking about how, like, I should have separate record keeping for, like, total time spent in a room on all attempts, in addition to the current attempt, because that's mostly what you would want to see. Because most commonly, I'd start a world, play through it once, want to see the stats on that, and then be done with that world. If I do a second play... well, yeah, then if I do a second play, that's when I would want the per playthrough and, like, per restore room time stats, maybe, to compare to the totals ever. But yeah, I should have running totals that never go down. Yeah, that's why that timekeeping always felt weird, because it doesn't work that way. Anyway, oh man, how much work do I want to give myself? Not much right now. Okay, so... my mission right now is to get a block on my head. That's it. That's the entire thing. One block on top of a ferret. To do that, I have just lots of leeway. I can do pretty much whatever I want. To some extent. I have lots of leeway, but my palette of ingredients is slightly limited. I have no statues, I have a finite number of bomb bugs. To get a block on my head with an explosion... let's see here... yeah, block on Leaf's head is always a tricky thing to achieve. It requires specific setup, and the specifics of that setup are often not super obvious. I need to stand in a place where a bomb bug is primed. Then on the next turn, be in a place where a block is between me and where that bomb bug is. And that block and the bomb bug are both one level above where I am. So it kind of almost works to do this. Well, I guess to do that I'd need a little bridge. So this is similar. Like, ideally, I need to stand here like this with that bomb bug primed. This has some implications. Okay, let's talk about those for a moment. Anytime I waypoint travel, I will drop my hat. I'm spending one of, 24 bomb bugs? One of 32 bomb bugs to do that. So I'm down to 31. Every time I want to start wearing a hat, this would cost 1 bomb bug. I can wear a maximum of 32 different hats. Minus however many bomb bugs are strictly required for the solution. Let's get an estimate of that. I don't know that I need every single one of these spaces packed completely full. I might be able to do with less, but for the moment let's assume I need every one of these spaces full. An explosion is always involved for any diagonal movement. There are no other diagonal movers anywhere in this room. Explosion is the only diagonal force. I need a diagonal force to move something here. That's 1. That is absolutely required. The thing that moves there needs to be a flying snake. I also need to do it once it's there, so that's 2. Right, okay, so for Leaf's movement, 1, 2. Leaf needs to do 2 diagonals. For flying snake's movements, to get 1 here, that's 1, 2, so that's 4 total. So 3, 4. And then some of these need to be filled. Let's assume all of them do. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So if I can do absolutely everything with a strict minimum number of explosions, I have 21 bomb bugs left for additional things. Okay, so that, if the strict minimum is 11, I'm gonna need a lot for other things, but if I have 21 that I don't absolutely for sure need to use in the solution, I'm not too worried about using 1 for a hat. And it is way too early to worry about resource allocations. However, just being aware that that is an implication of what I'm doing, like, I am spending a thing to do this, is going to be useful. However, am I spending a thing to do this? There are no hot coals. There are angry eyes. I killed them. Ah, this will change things. An angry eye can help. Okay, that changes everything. I killed them so early, they were out of sight, out of mind. Okay, so to make this happen... That's not quite it. Let's see. Actually, do I even need the angry eye? I'm just picturing. Let's say a bomb bug was here. Yeah, so if bomb bug is there facing west, I do that, it steps there, it doesn't prime because it's not at my level. Yeah, no, so angry eye, good idea. Okay, so this is why this movable angry eye exists. Now I understand your purpose, I say. One of them, there are probably many. So I understand a purpose to this Angry Eye. That way I don't have to prime the bomb bug ahead of time to be able to transact with it. Alright, let's get a few of these. Just gonna unspool like that. Put this back in the bank. Make a scary stick. And get a pet. Oops, no. You do that, how do I do this, normally? Wait, how do I do this normally? Don't you... How did I pulled you out somehow. Okay, I don't know, I did something funny, but anyway, that's back there. Just a matter of which way things are facing. Okay, so a bomb bug is out. I have an Angry Eye. You just be, I don't know, down here. That's not a convenient spot. Whatever, there aren't any. Don't worry about it. So now, I'm thinking I do the hat transaction here. It could also be here. It needs somewhere with some elevation. Issue. Angry Eye primed, aiming at where a bomb bug is going to be. If this is my if this is my situation. Oops. If this is my situation, an I-beam can't go west to east. The other way around, east to west. Well, could it go west to east? I do have the option of using more explosions to use some of these switches from a slightly greater distance or different angle. Angry Eye cannot get down on the ground to hit any of these switches for me, so that won't be involved. You can get on the ground, but you're not in line with any. Except that one, and that doesn't really count because I can't prime you south. Technically I can, but it's not useful. Oh, there's a fun concept. Make a puzzle where you gotta prime an Angry Eye toward a toggle switch that is directly next to it, then de-elevate it to hit that switch. Anyway, so... these things could be higher up. I could do something ridiculous. Here's a thing I could do. I could have a flying snake carrying this block. Angry Eye shoots the snake, going through it to the bomb bug on the other side. Block falls immediately, then can get pushed by explosion. So that's one way. However, that involves using a flying snake, which is kind of unruly. Okay, so my goal has become more modest. Instead of getting a flying snake here, my goal is get a hat on my head. Alright, all I want is to wear a hat. In this room, how do I wear a hat? And again, there's like several different patterns I can use for explosion to push a block onto a place where Leaf is. The best would be if there were a pressure plate here that lowered this toggle door. Then I could stand up there, prime, hop to the east, have you lower, and then explode in the right place. But there are no such pressure plates that lower. This one only raises. Sorry, no, that does lower. Wait, hold on, can I use this? Oh, wait a second. If I'm here up high, and the bomb bug is also up high there, that lowers both is the problem. Yeah, it has to lower the far one without doing the near one, right? Hang on, could that work? No. Yeah, it has to asymmetrically lower. Like, the bomb bug has to go down relative to the push block in front of it. So no, I cannot use that pressure plate in that way. So back to the angry eye. Is there an angle where I can do this without involving a flying snake? I have to be at the same elevation as the angry eye, and therefore also the bomb bug, on the turn that I prime it. Unless I can change its elevation in one turn, which from here I don't think I can. I can only change my own here. Don't think that's meaningful. And yeah, notice, bomb bug can see over toggle switch, so that thing I was talking about with like this eye hitting its own switch would totally work. I would need to be 2 away on the perpendicular axis if I want a diagonal explosion to put something on my head, and I can't do that in this time. I'm only 1 away on the perpendicular. If prime bomb bug, then again, that's 2 steps. 1 south, 1 west. Or equivalent. So yeah, without some sort of assistive device to already have this most of the way set up, I have to invent a machine with these pieces that will do this action that's extremely specific. And just coming up with that on the spot is proving quite tricky. So do I want to try the flying snake approach? If I were to do that... what would that even look like? Like in this hypothetical. There are still elevation issues with that too. There sure are. Okay, I no longer think that I want to do it in that little row of switches. I want to do my business down here. I have a little more control over the entire floor going up and down. Alright, you go there. Just sit in that spot for a second. What I'm trying to picture is like a flying snake flying in from, I don't know where, somewhere. Like on another axis. Like this is a block that will be carried by a flying snake. Is it? So what I would desire is to somehow have that thing already up high. I have all these blocks. I could lay out like a high bridge sort of thing. Like I could lay down my own entire floor over here for whatever sort of pattern I wanted. And I may have to. I only got to do this once for the hat, unless I have to waypoint mid-room. I don't think oh, hey, there's a lot of waypoints here? I didn't really think about the implication of there being this many just all over the place. So as soon as I gain a hat, I lose the ability to hop around using these. Given the number of them, I feel like the suggestion is to use these to move the flying snakes around, or gain some distance on them. And to lose that ability this early is probably not something I want. However, I don't have a plan that involves hopping between waypoints, but they are an option. And an option I would lose with a hat. Or at least an option that would start costing me something with a hat. But yeah, what is the hat algorithm? I may be chasing one that's more complicated than necessary. This is so much easier when I have access to the editor and, I'm doing some architecture and can just lay down a situations like, here's a simple widget using whatever tools I want to pull out of the palette here that sets up block on Leaf's head. But doing it during gameplay, like Leaf assembling the machine himself, that's harder. Much less clear. Okay, so core principles. If orthogonal explosion, a layout roughly like this. You primed or otherwise about to explode. 2 in an orthogonal direction, 1 upward in elevation, block in between the two of us, at your elevation, 1 above mine. Leaf 0, block 1, bomb bug 1. Leaf 0, block 1, bomb bug 1 if you want to do it diagonally. But acting diagonally from 2 tiles away on both axes. I don't see a way to do it in this room, so orthogonally, the thing I saw was the Angry Eye. Angry Eye needs to be at the same elevation as Bomb Bug. So Leaf 0, block 1, Bomb Bug 1, Angry Eye 1. Alternately, right, now the issue with that is priming the Angry Eye with the line of sight blocker that is the push block. That's why the flying snake can help, because it could temporarily make the block see-through. So I could prime from either this angle or this angle, and have the beam go through. Okay, let's test something. I'm fairly certain this will work correctly. But just to be sure, because I'm not like 100% sure. I'm gonna set down a new room here. This is space. That's fine, let's make it not. So, I want Pilar. Bomb Bug looking like that. Angry Eye looking like this. Flying Snake carrying a push block. Which way around do these go? If I need to do it this way. Better idea. Let's see. Okay, so first of all, you face this way. Let's face this way, sure. Flying Snake has its own little runway here. Faces south, carries push block. Okay. Now, I don't want to be so close to this bomb bug, so I guess I'll be here. Okay. So theory is... Right, the question that I had, I know the answer to this, but just to demonstrate it, just because I don't want to blow this up, I'm going to put it a little farther away. When the Angry Eye beam goes off, it's processed in the order from the origin of the eye. So it does this tile, this tile, this tile, this tile. This kills the bomb bug. This tile. This kills the flying snake. When I step west, yeah, you're going to move first. You're going to move first. Angry Eyes don't have a movement phase, they only have an action phase. You're gonna try to move, except you won't anymore because you don't see me anymore, so Flying Snake will be here, carrying the block. Angry Eye won't move because they don't do that. Bomb Bug won't move because it doesn't see me anymore because I'm down here. Okay, so things are in the state. Flying Snake is there. Angry Eye takes its... Flying Snake takes its action phase, which it doesn't have. There is none, so it does nothing. Angry Eye takes its action phase, which creates an eye beam. The eye beam is there, then the bomb bug takes its action phase and does nothing. Actually, I don't think they do anything on their action phase ever. Priming happens in post-advance, like at the very, very end of the turn. I guess if they're primed, their action is to explode, but you are not. So the state is, action phase is done, I-beam is created, and covers all of those spaces at elevation 1, starting here, going left to right. So then, at the end of the monster's action phase, each I-beam takes its action phase. So action phase continues with newly created entities. This segment goes and does nothing, this goes and does nothing, this goes and does nothing. This segment goes and kills the bomb bug. The bomb bug creates an explosion at elevation 1 covering these spaces. However, the explosion doesn't do anything yet. Then this beam segment processes. It kills the flying snake, which instantly de-elevates the push block, moving it from elevation 2 at this position to elevation 1. Rest of the beams process with nothing happening because there's nothing to happen there. Gets to the end of the beam list, and this newly added explosion that is now here then starts processing. So we do this, 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 get to this one, then something happens. The flying snake is already gone, the push block is already at elevation 1, so it ends up getting pushed onto Leaf's head. So that's how that turn works. Okay. Okay. So yes, that setup could work if I could create it over here, and now that's actually made things very clear. Because I can create something quite similar to that. The tricky part of that is getting the flying snake up high. I can put a block on it, no problem. I can put it in jail whenever I want. How will I elevate the snake? I have a couple of ideas. This is one. Yeah, that's the easy one. Okay. So let's say I had this here-ish. I retrieve a flying snake and put a block on its head. And I want a blocker for your pathing there. I actually want a different one. I want this one, here. Retrieve snake. Snake comes to me. Snake gets block on head. Snake goes to a spot of my choosing. The spot I choose is right here. Then I elevate you. However, I don't do any of that yet. First I put you in jail. So you're in jail while I set up a bridge. What's the friendliest way to do this? That's not it, but it'll have to do. Alright, you move here, I guess. I can't see. I don't know what's around. That's the block I'm trying to move. I'm gonna make this bridge a little more Okay, that's not going to be okay, actually. It can be if I move these towers around. Alright, this is getting real messy. That's okay, that's inevitable in a room like this. Alright, just set towers aside. I need those two gone. The reason for that is because of the bridge I'm building here. I will want to be able to unbuild this bridge. Ah! Let's not do that, please. Okay, so that shape is set up. You go here. Snake gets out of jail. Snake goes to this spot, gets elevated. I'm missing some ingredients, several of them. First of all, this block wasn't supposed to be here, but I can just do that. Second of all, I need to get up high. Okay, well that's fine, I can build another bridge. Here, check this out. There we go. I made a 2x2, which I'd rather not make. Alright, let's do it a little differently. Not yet. You're too early. Just leave me alone. You too. Well, that's not gonna do that. Alright, you know what? Have that. Okay. So are these the ingredients I need? Not all of them. I need these to fully unspool. Which means I want you just out of there. Whatever, I made a huge mess. I don't specifically need this not to be there, but it'll be clearer to look at if it isn't there. Alright, so big tower, just shoo, go away. Other big tower, just shoo, go away. Whoop! Sure, there is fine. I need this gone. It's not involved, so I'm just going to push it off the edge. You go here. Snake comes out of jail. Snake goes to this spot, gets up high. I'm off by a little bit. That's okay. I can do things this way. Good enough. Priming too early. Unfortunate. Of course. So, alright, I got a silly solution for that. This will not be present in the final solution, probably, but just for the sake of demonstration right now. Oops, let's unspool a couple of blocks, or do, like... I need a side that is sheltered. Huh. It's hard to see what's happening at this angle. That's okay. Right, and I need to insert something in there. How many blocks are here right now? 2? Yeah. That's enough, I think. I'm cooking something. Don't worry about it. I'm almost there. That. Okay, so that's a problem. Probably. For now, I'm gonna just pretend it's not. Because it's not a problem for demonstrating this concept. Just downstream of here. But I'm not going downstream, I'm only going this far. Okay, so this here, Snake out of jail, this goes up, you go there, Snake elevates, I walk this road such that the, the flying snake already sees me. Okay, well I could have a second big pillar. This is getting a lot less appealing now. Also, I have to go a distance back. Not strictly. Blah. If I want to unpack this, that's a 2x2. I was going to put something that's at least too high right here, just so that I can walk that path. Instead, I got a better idea. Only have to rewind a little bit to get to it. This. Gonna have to pull one more off of that stack because of the number I'm using now. That's okay, I can do that. I pulled 2. Okay, so snake out of jail. Angry Eye's already there. This goes up. Snake is elevated. I walk around out of sight of the Angry Eye. And you have no reason to become vertical in that spot. Okay, fine. So I need more pillar components. Dang it, Bombug. I'm not ready for you yet. Sit there for a second. Actually, look at me. Well, now I lost my central pillar. Alright, instead of that, let's use a different one that's already there. I put them all out of reach. There we go. Okay, Angry Eye in place. Snake out of jail. This up high. So now that's less convenient. That's okay, I can do this. I actually can't. Okay. This is very cumbersome, if you couldn't tell. Okay, nope. Is this it yet? Go here, Angry Eye doesn't see me. Go here, Flying Snake is trapped. I am off by 1. Okay, so this concept, but better. I don't like where this went. I would like to restart. That concept, but better. I mean, I kind of just want to see it work at all here, just to get this set down as a means of getting a hat on my head. So how can I improve upon what I have here in a way that will be Flying Snake compatible? Well, if the Flying Snake could travel slightly farther, that would do the job. Okay, so let's unspool a couple more of these. I have this extra block here. I'm going to put it right in this spot. Your jail cell is open. Let's fix that. Okay, so pull 2 more of those off. 3 more, I guess. No, that doesn't go there. I don't need another. Like this? I'm not quite sure if this is right, but I think it might be. Alright, snake out of jail, and the little notch. This thing goes to its spot. This completes my bridge. Then I can walk the way I want to walk. Alright, so, sheltered from you. Oh, wait, you need to go up high. Oh, right, okay, so that's why this goes up. To hold you in place. And block the angry eyesight. Ah! Okay, I have a fix for that. I put that in there a while ago, didn't I? Oh, yes, long ago. That's actually okay. I still have a fix for that. It's gonna be a pain, though. I'm gonna move the bomb bug... There's my cursor. Over by one and face it toward me. So it will be the thing that blocks the flying snake. Yeah, that'll work. How do I do it? I think the simplest way is going to be with the monster block. Here, yeah, I don't need to go up there myself. I can just put this up high and show it to that creature. I would like to only show it once, so I guess I'll just stash it away after that. No, I know what I can do. I can stash you away. If I'm doing that, though, I need to be able to get back around. Everything here is very involved, if you hadn't noticed. Alright, so now you don't see this. Now you come back down. I need to face you to the east. I want this block back, so... Ah! So I do that. Sure. Face you to the east. There. Shush. Now I need... nothing much. That's pretty much where it needs to be. Let's see, this goes down to there, this goes here. Flying snake gets into position. Bomb bug is correct, flying snake is... First I move this down. Right, I can go around like that. Bridge gets completed again. Snake gets elevated. Okay. This ridiculous situation that I've set up. There we go, I have a hat. Okay. A hat was put on my head. That is not an acceptable way to do that, however, it is one way to do it. That became my only goal for today, just literally any means of putting a hat on my head. I found one. I probably should find a simpler one, but I did find one. Now, just to demonstrate, I can't easily... Okay, I can in the editor. I mean, this part would be trivial. Sure, I can do it in this room. Probably. What is the way to do this? What I wanted to demonstrate was flying snake on top of block on top of Leaf's head will not hop off. But, I mean, you can see how that would work. But no, I need to do it here. Okay, so I need then a setup that puts a block on my head, and I can make a much simpler one. Well, I mean, I already have one right here. Then what I need is flying snake way up high in a way I can get it onto my head. Okay, that's easy enough to set up. It does need to be at elevation 2. So here we go. All I gotta do then is just put a little fence bracket here with a stack of push block, flying snake. There we go. That's the whole thing. Okay. So get this, go here, do that, have hat. Okay, not quite that. I need a little bit more. I can do this without any stacks. Right. There we go. Alright, so now I have a cooperative friend who will stay put on top of my head. And if I create an explosion up high, I can move that diagonally over through a gap. Whoa, how would any of that happen in that layout? Now might be the time when I discover that all of this work was not particularly useful, but at least if I do need a stationary flying snake, or one that I can move freely without it moving on its own, this is a way to do that. Okay, so concept proven, kinda. Next time, I don't know, I'll take the next tiny step that, well, every tiny step is huge in this room. But that's fine, I'll do something to get a little closer to this goal.